Hello everyone, the 316 here with the Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse review. I finally got the crowdfunded campaign Justice League Batmobile in here, and take a look at how big this box is. Like, there goes my scissors. Give me a sec. I mean, look how big this box is. It's a big ass box. Came in a big box, but I got the level 3. It says level 2 on this box, but from what I've seen from other people, all of theirs have said level 2 as well. But let's get my level 3 crowdfunding campaign Batmobile in here. I mean, this box itself is big. And then, of course, I did get the level 3 reward. It does say level 3 on it. That just says level 2 of the Batman with the bat signal. So this cost $149.99. That was after shipping. I think there was some tax in there, but that's how much I paid. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but I am very glad to have it. Just to give you an idea on how big this particular box is, I have a Professor Pig here, and you can see that they're about the same height with the hook included, but Batman is a little bit deeper. I mean, it's a giant box, this Collector's Club box, and of course, it has a barcode for some reason. I don't know why they added a barcode to it, but beats me. Stay tuned for that Professor Pig video. But the Batmobile. You know, I like the Justice League Snyder cut. I'm not a Snyder cultist, you know. I like the DC movies. Doesn't matter what director or what universe. But the box here, it's got the red Justice League logo on here, spot varnished. At the top left here, it has the Mcfarlane Toys Collectors Club logo. It says the Batmobile level 2 at the bottom. This thing's kind of heavy. On this side, it has the same Collector's Club logo as a Batman. And then on this side, it says Justice League. It also has some unique graphic designs of, you know, things that reference the movie, like the Power Suit, the Dark Knight, Justice, etc. And then on the top, we have a look at the Justice League Batmobile. Says level 2 there. And in the back, ugh, that's heavy. You can see it includes the Justice League Batmobile. And it does have a barcode again for some reason. Don't know why. And then I think lastly, on the bottom, it's pretty much the same as the top. Anyway, can't wait to crack this open. Let's go ahead and do it. When you open up Batman, well, there goes Batman. But if you open up the background here, you can see that the base of the bat signal is tied in there. It's kind of hard to see where the ties are. They're actually inside there, and then there's the card art, of course. But there's the background of that. Same thing as the crowdfund. And the base hidden behind it. Had to lower the camera quite a bit here, but I finally got Batman out of his packaging. So obviously you saw he comes with a stand. I'd put it in my pile, but that's upstairs. Here's a look at the art card, and mine already has a ding in it. Spent $150, and I can't get a nice looking card, but the red and the black looks good. I'll put that in my binder as well. So the bat signal comes in 2 parts, and then the electronics are on the back here. You can see it has the on-off switch as well as all the other legalese that it needs to. And then here's the base. You can see how these clip in, and once they're in, I think they're in for good. Although you could, with enough heat and persistence, you could probably get it out, but it should go in. Yep, went in easily. Actually, no, these pop out pretty easy. Never mind. So if for some reason you need to but take these apart, you can. You just press on the bottom, you're good to go. So I haven't turned this on yet. Let's see how good it is. Okay, it's not like super bright, but it's got enough light to it that, you know, it could probably cast the bat signal on it. It's not doing a good job there. There's a lot of light down here, but yeah, it's a nice little bat signal. A little big for me, but you know, you could always take this upper portion and put it on something else. It is painted nicely as well. It's this dark gray, slightly metallic, not metal, plastic, and then it's like dry brushed or heavily weathered with this silver. It's nice. But there's the bat signal there. It's only one blue LED in there. And then Batman here, as far as I know, is complete reuse of that original Justice League one. That was just some dust, thankfully. But this has a great likeness to Ben Affleck compared to his, you know, BvS figure. His Justice League figure looks pretty good. Only disappointment, I don't care about the accessories. he doesn't come with a pair of goggles. If he came with a pair of goggles, I think this figure would have been a great inclusion. Without it, it kind of sucks. Because, you know, in the movie, he's wearing the goggles when he's doing his business in the Batmobile, but not a ton of paint. All the silver's on there, but I remember this suit having gold on it, so I might go in and add that gold at some point. But the figure itself looks good, even if it's reuse. You know, I think proportionally it's fine. Since I haven't looked at this mold before, we'll go into articulation. Starting with the arms, even though with those molded shoulder pads on, he can get pretty high. And then a lot of rotator cuff, a lot of good forward and back there. He's got a rotation here. He's got double jointed elbow. Can almost touch the top of his shoulder there. And let's see, torso, let's go there. So the upper torso, not much side to side, basically no back, and definitely no forward. That kind of sucks. Plenty of twist though, surprisingly. And then the bottom section, no forward, barely any back as well, and a more rough twist joint there. Forgot to look at the head here, so the head looks down enough. Looks up a good amount too, actually. Do you bleed? You will. Then you got the side to side with his head there. Alright, if we go down to the legs, while he can do the splits, it's rough. It does deform the diaper piece a little bit, so be careful. And then we'll look at him sitting down in the Batmobile in a second, so I'm not going to do that particular articulation point. His double jointed knees, pretty good. Can't kick his own ass, but what are you going to do? And then you got the ankle swivel here. It is the old ball joint, which I don't mind the ball joint for the wrists, but the ball joint on the legs, when it's not this like heavily armored type of figure, that doesn't look good. Like, I don't mind these wrist pegs being, you know, spheres. The bottom ones I do. But that, and also he does have a cape. I forgot to mention that. Take a look at the wingspan. Pretty good, actually. He's having some trouble standing, but that's okay. I'll fix him. Do a fix up of this particular figure, but that's Batman. Now it's time for the main event. Let's open up that Batmobile. Packaged in there pretty good. Got some clear plastic in there. So the accessories were on the bottom there, and there's a card included. So if you did get this, just be careful about that. Here it is, the Batmobile in all its glory, with all of its accessories out. We can see that it does come with a bit of a diagram here on how to assemble everything. So I'm just going to keep that back here while we take a look at the Batmobile. These wings need to be put on. It looks simple enough. You just slide them in back here. Doesn't look like they like lock into place. They can easily go in and out. So one goes on this side, and then one goes on this side. Yeah, they don't lock in, but they ain't coming out easily. But yeah, there's our Justice League BvS Batmobile, and this thing looks great outside. It's you know, the promotional images and renders. This looks great. I like having this in hand. It's awesome. Genuinely, it's awesome. It's like a matte gray, similar to Batman's figure here. It's more of a matte gray color, although this has a little bit of just a slight green tint to it, maybe brownish tint even. But yeah, this Batmobile, I love it. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan when it originally was debuted, but I've since really grown to like this particular Batmobile. It has quite a lot of detail on it. This turret's removable. We'll look at that in a bit. But you can see all the scuff marks, the gray, the black paint there. It's even painted on the inside too. So yeah, this is like a very dark gray rather than black. Oh, these headlights move too. Look at that. They can go up and down, and I'm assuming they can come out. It doesn't look like it'll easily come out, but that one doesn't want to move. Uh-oh. Better be careful with that, you know. Don't want to break my crowdfunded toy, right? But yeah, there's a lot of silver detail on this. The canopy piece is a very slightly different color. But yeah, you know, the front of this looks good too. It looks mean, nasty even. Yeah, this one moves. I don't know why the other one doesn't. And then if we take a look at the back here, not a lot going on. Kind of wish we got some orange paint back there for like a, you know, an exhaust of some kind. Oh well. But if I put this so you can see the bottom, there's the bottom for you. At least the top half of the bottom. I can't get this whole thing on screen without putting it sideways. There you go. And then it does have a little bit of dry brushing on the sides there for the other detail. That looks great. I like it. Alright, so obviously I haven't put on any of the other pieces yet. This is just the BvS version of the Batmobile. That just fell off. It looks like there's a button here that pops it open. I like that. Satisfying. It's a one-seater, but I think it was a one-seater in the movie. At least the first one. Might have been a two-seater now that I'm thinking about it, but you know, probably be easier if I just... There's got to be an easier way to take this off. I see. It's not the easiest to take that off. It's held in by those two little pegs, and that's how that works. It also looks like... That's weird. What's this for? It's like there's an insert piece down here. Is that supposed to be like that? Huh. Doesn't seem to come out or anything. Weird. I wonder if it does come out though, because like... I'll have to look at that later, but the inside does have some stickers in it, some sticker detail. And does this move? Aw, it doesn't move. That's lame. $150. But you got some cool details in here on all of those stickers. At least they gave us some stickers on this one. And it looks like there's enough foot room in there, but let's go ahead and start with the transformation, I guess. So we got this extra piece in the level 2 for the Justice League version. And then we have this turret here. Goes on like that. And then should be able to easily... Putting this on is not as easy as it looks. There we go. I think I got it in all the way. And then that locks in like that. So you can have that turret up there. And then, let's see, what else do we need to swap out? Trying to see here. We got this thing, which is like missiles, that goes in on the front. So we got those. And then we got our two additional guns here. Trying to see how these go on, or rather where. Is this a slot? I think that's a slot. No. The instructions, they're not all that easy to tell, if I'm being honest. Are these magnets? Are these magnets? Alright, let me figure this out off camera. Okay, yeah, so they are magnetic, but they're not like super strong magnets, but there you go. Now you have it in the Justice League version, so if you'd rather have, you know, these turrets and then the other canopy for the BvS version, you can, but yeah, these are actually magnetic, as you can hear, and they do twist pretty easily, although they do have a little guide piece of plastic there, so that will always show a little bit, but yeah, this is just magnets. Wasn't expecting that to be magnets, but that's nice. You can kind of hear it when I just shove it on there. But yeah, that's cool. So there's all the guns for the Justice League mode. And then, of course, it does have, you know, it can spin and it'll hold its place with the magnets. And then this will twist about that much in each direction. And then the main gun, it twists more this way somehow, even though it looks like there's more room over here. But that's how that twists. And then this should just pop up like the other one. Pretty easy. So let's see how well he can sit in there. Okay, legs kick forward pretty good. Actually, this might work just fine. And then this is obviously a one-seater. Oh, this works easy. Yeah, this ain't no problem. Although, maybe getting his hands on this turn wheel might not be the easiest. Okay, so I got him in there. He doesn't have his goggles. And yeah, this should be a two-seater now that I'm realizing it. But yeah, he can sit in there pretty easily. Although, yeah, I was worried about that. So if you want him to hold that, you're going to have to get him even deeper in there because of the clearance. But once he's in there in the right spot, you can easily clear that. I really like how this turned out. There are some things I don't like about it, of course. Like I said, I wish the canopy actually split down the middle, at least for this one. And because those are magnetic, they'll fall off. But, you know, they could have easily made this two pieces, have one on each side, and then made that little mechanism one piece as well. So I kind of wish they did that. That's the only thing. Maybe some lights and sounds in the vehicle itself. That's another thing I would have liked to have seen. But I forgot to bring down my ruler, so let me go grab that. All right, time for some size comparisons. So the Batmobile here, at the front of its width, is about almost 11 inches, almost a foot. That's crazy. And then I think my ruler might be too short for this, but at its height, looks like the top of the turret is the highest. We're looking at almost 6.5, 7 inches. Crazy. Let me get him out of the way real quick. All right, so the entire thing is, I'd probably say 23 inches at most. From front to back. This thing is insane. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, it probably has, it has that at least 21 inches long. Although it might be a little bit longer than that. My ruler only went to 18. But let's get Batman back in here so we can see how tall he is. He is about a little over 7.5 inches. No, 7.5. Yeah, he's exactly 7.5. Don't have too many figures I wanted to bring out, but I brought out the relevant ones. The dusty ones, because I haven't, took them off the shelf in a while. We got the BvS Wave Wonder Woman, if she would stand. She always had trouble standing. I'll just set her next to Batman. Good. And then, speaking of Batman, here he is. Show him sitting in there just a sec. And then we got pretty severely warped Doomsday 2-pack Henry Cavill Superman. If he would stand. I think he has worse standing issues than Wonder Woman. Dude, come on. There we go. So you can get an idea on how they all look next to the Batmobile. And if you got the level 4 version, which I didn't, they'll all be in black and white, or rather gray and black. So if you got that, look out for that. Let's see how this Batman fits in there. So get those up. The diaper gets in the way more. He has a more splayed leg look to him. Not the fan of that. Trying to get it as inward as possible. Just trying to shove him in there. Alright, so he will fit in there. Just BvS one. He will fit in there just fine. Now getting him out. Alright, that wasn't too bad. But I think it's time we look at some other Batmobile comparisons. Almost forgot to take a look at the Batmobile's card. There's the back of that, and then there's the front of it. I'll probably keep it in this. Here it is, next to the Dark Knight Rises tumbler. Very similar in size, actually. The Justice League Batmobile, I'd say, is just a little bit longer, but I feel like the tumbler is a bit wider. But yeah, they look pretty nice next to each other, even if they're not in the same universe. And with the 89 Batmobile, these ones are almost the exact same length, although I think the 89 has a beat just because of those back fins. But, canopy's about the same, I'd say. But yeah, these are both like the same really dark gray color. Obviously, this one has a ton of dust on it, so don't mind that. But yeah, these look good together too, even, again, not in the same universe. And as a bonus, I have the Tron Ares Light Cycle Popcorn Bucket. The Light Cycle Popcorn Bucket is way bigger, at least in height. But, if I put it on its side, you can see Width-wise, it's still a little bit shorter than the Justice League Batmobile, but honestly, I kind of like the red. I don't customize a lot, but kind of want to put some red on this thing. Anyway, I think that concludes this review. So, you know, as just a few things I'd like to point out. I like the magnets on these guns. They don't have any paint on them, but it kind of makes sense given that they were only used for that battle in Justice League. I don't think it used them for anything else. They might have had more detail in the movie, but I like the swappable canopies, even if I don't particularly like that they don't split. You have to open the whole thing at once. Not a fan of that. Batman, the figure, it's a reuse, but it's good reuse. I wish that the cape had a wire in it, or the gold detail, or more importantly, I wish it had the goggles. I could forgo the other two issues if it had the goggles, but since it doesn't, I'm less, inclined to like it, especially since it's reuse. They could have included a pair of goggles. Just saying. If I didn't say it before, the bat signal needs LR44 batteries, so I think it's 4 of them. No, 3. Let me look at the box again. It's 3. You need 3 LR44 batteries, or the equivalent, wherever you are. $150 after shipping. It does seem like a lot. I don't know why they particularly wanted this one for a crowdfund. Maybe they just knew that they could get a lot of money off of the Snyder fans, but I do like what's included here. I do not regret the purchase. If worse comes to worse, I could always resell it, but I have no intentions of reselling it. I like it because I wanted it, not for any other reason. I wish it had a bit more paint on the Batmobile. It is kind of weird having, the dry brushed silver here and a little bit in the front, but that's it. Maybe there's reasoning behind it, like when he's driving through the city, only those parts get hit because of the aerodynamics. I don't know, but yeah, I think, again, the Batmobile turned out well, other than the few minor complaints I had with it. I do feel like it came with just a little bit more since I spent so much money on it, but hope you guys enjoyed the review. Let me know in the comments down below if you bought this, or if you're looking to spend aftermarket prices on it. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. It all helps out the channel, and as always, peace.